I want to thank you for joining this second edition of my little Switzerland as we take a look now at Zurich, the main city. This is the Bahnhof Railroad Station Street. There's a first edition on YouTube. You may want to refer to that for information about the establishment and background and other details. But this is an upgrade just to show you where we are now in 2025. This is the BLS Pink Panther that pulls the Cisalpino consist out of Zurich Station. And here a view of, again, Bahnhofstrasse and the cathedral and the streets coming in. And of course, streetcar tracks running down the middle. And another view of the main train station. Control tower signals the tracks. The platforms, you see the station off in the distance. Now this is the city park, Stadtpark. Men fishing out there. And looking back toward Bern. In the background would be Zug. Again, a view of the park, the water tower. Trains parked along the different tracks. And you see a view of the Cobra tram at Bern. Of course, these are models of the real streetcars in Zurich. The Bern station. And then looking up toward Zermatt. And the tunnel system. 2 for the streetcars, 2 for the trains, and 1 for the ramp track going up to the upper level and to Chur. Coming around to Zug, which also can be Luzern on some of the runs. And this is now up the level of Chur, which is the second main station for the layout. And looking toward the ramp track, which goes down to the lower level, to Bern, Zug, and on to Zurich. And this is St. Moritz, still at the upper level, with 3 tracks. There's the castle, and a train on track 3. This locomotive was purchased in Switzerland. It's the old style of Swiss locomotive. And pulling the largest train on the upper level, and that would be the St. Moritz Castle. And looking down at St. Gallen now, you can see a streetcar, the 19 streetcar on the main city track there in St. Gallen, number 19 tram. And here's where it goes into the tunnel by the church. There are 3 tracks at St. Gall. The middle track goes on the ramp going up. This is Efreton. And there you see the BLS Cisalpino. This runs on a number of different sections, different trains for the BLS, especially the eastbound trains. This is the newest consist that I have on the layout. And now you see the Cisalpino in action. Running toward the east. The locomotive there before you is the 150th anniversary edition for the Swiss Railways. And so the train is leaving, going down the main track from Zurich. Now it's coming through the Zurich station tracks at speed. These are trains on the tracks at the main station. Beyond the station platform, there are two other main platforms. This now is the Bernfahne, which is a westbound train in action. At the same time, you see this is Alpino, so they will be crossing. Passing each other on the main, on this long section. Now we're seeing the Alpenreiser in action, headed eastward, going through St. Gallen now. And now it'll be running opposite to another train. And that will be the Westflieger, which is making a westward run. That's an excursion, rather, a commuter train. And here the number 19 tram in action. The two trams I have go in opposite directions on the tracks. This now takes us up to Chur station. So you can see a run on the ramp track. This is the train that runs from Chur down to Zurich. Going across the viaduct now. It'll make a right turn, and then it'll go down the ramp, which of course is out of sight, and will emerge at St. Gallen, and then take the main track on into Zurich. We'll come back to the second level in a moment. This is a view of Zurich by night. This is particularly the newest part since the first edition. By the use of these new lights, I think about 9 street lights now, plus all of the buildings, all of the houses are illuminated from within, so you're seeing all the lights turned on now. That's the main station with the lights on, and there you see Stadtpark and the various street lights, of which I said there are 9 of them now. And you can see the signal lights also in this view, still at Zurich. In the cathedral you saw that. And looking down Bahnhofstrasse. And backing away now so you can see Bern below and Zermatt up above. And this being Zug, Luzern. Same view. And we're coming down to St. Moritz at night, and then coming across, and you can see below St. Gallen at night. And African. Church is lit up. And another view back at Stock Park, looking towards Zurich. And now we'll go to the Uplands trains, the ones up above, the upper level. This will be a train leaving St. Moritz, and it's train 505. It'll be pulling into Chur. Again, that's the main station for the Uplands. And in the real Switzerland, it's a real significant rail center. So it's coming in where we have 3 different platforms. This is on track 4. We'll be leaving Chur then, making the run to Zermatt, and we'll see that as it leaves Chur and the various houses, businesses in Chur, it goes out on this long viaduct, which takes it actually behind Zurich. So you can see the mountains in the background, which were custom made for me by the Backdrop Warehouse, as I recall. The mountains simulate those in Switzerland. Actually, it's from California. Now it makes its right turn, and instead of going down the ramp track, as we saw before, it comes into Zermatt, as we see here, and now it is leaving Zermatt. It's a push-pull operation, and all of them on this upper level are. There's no way to turn them around, so they're just going on a point-to-point basis and backing up when they've reached one destination to the other. This is backing up now, coming back into Chur. Now this is one of the most interesting cars I have. It's a model of an excursion car that was produced by Adolf Hitler, by the Nazis, and during the war, there are only 2 produced. One was destroyed, and one remains, still is intact, and it became the prototype for this model. So I'm very proud of the model. The 505, or 501 rather, excuse me, is now at Chur, leaving Chur for St. Moritz. So that's its long journey, point to point, from Zermatt all the way to St. Moritz. That is the route in the real Swiss operations of the Glacier Express. That's arriving at St. Moritz now, the 501 excursion train. And the one you see leaving is the 507. It's a BLS. It only has 1 car. It's pulling into the Chur station. Leaving the Chur station now to go across the viaduct and into Zermatt. and arriving at Zermatt. Now we see the reversal backing into Chur, and then it will go from Chur on back into St. Moritz, which is the terminal point for this train. It takes track 1. Track 4, of course, in Chur, you see here. It could stop either on track 3 or 4. Going past the farm now and the farm animals, and the church at St. Moritz, and into track 1. And this is the final of the 3 trains that run from St. Moritz to Zermatt. This is a Südostbahn, number 503. You see it here having gone from St. Moritz on track 2 to Chur, and now it's leaving Chur and headed for the viaduct and the trip across. You notice the mirrors in the arches, which gives the effect of space and the continuation of the city on beyond the viaduct. Now it's entering into Zermatt. Of course, below you get a glimpse of the tunnel system, and the tracks going up to the upper level are the second from the left. Now the 503 is leaving Zermatt, going back across the viaduct and into Chur. It's coming in on track 3. And leaving Chur now for St. Moritz, and back to its destination on track 2 at St. Moritz. And finally, just to illustrate the second train that runs from Zurich to Chur and Chur to Zurich, this is the BLS Express. It is now arriving in Zurich from Chur on track 3. So this is the end of our show. Thank you for watching.